first half unaudited financials. I'm Suleiman Al-Salmi, and we have here our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Yusuf Azir, and also our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Santosh Kumar. And I've done the introduction in English since I don't see anyone here who requires it in Arabic. So we will proceed with the meeting. We will present a summary of the financials, and then we will all be open to answer any questions. Just please, whoever would like to ask questions, if he could kindly tell us his name and the organization that he represents, and we will be happy to answer their questions.
Santosh, to you.
Yeah. So this is our summary financial of the group level. When I say group, it is composite of 3 companies. One is Oman Refreshment SOAG company, and 2 of our holding company, one in Algeria, one is another in Oman LLC. This financial we have already disclosed, so I will take you through the key ratios to explain the gist of the financial. So if you see, our group turnover has increased by 2.6%. Our gross profit has decreased by 3.9%. Our operating profit has decreased by 31%, and overall profit after tax has decreased by 33%. One of the key factor of this decline in operating profit, gross profit, and profit after tax is the highest commodity price we have ever seen in our FMCG business. Similarly, the profitability ratio, EBITDA margin, we are like, gross profit margin, I will just starting from the end. If you see, it is 4% only the decline, while the operating profit margin is almost half. The reason is when you go to the another impact which comes in S&D and operating in Oman, that business has a significant impact, that part. Net profit margin has also decreased by almost 15.8 become 7.5, and EBITDA margin 12.4 become 10.2. So this is the summary gist of our financials. This is our financial performance of the position of the group. Here we have declared the assets and the liability, current asset and current liabilities. Yeah. Then I'll take you to the cash flow directly, and the cash flow I will starting from the end. The net cash position at the period end is around 16 million. And if you see our investment activity, our operating activity, we are almost everywhere positive. So the key message here is the business is performing, delivering. Because of temporary hit of commodity prices, we are finding a temporary turbulence in our financial, and I'm confident that in Q3 we'll post better result, and Q4 will end here result with a lot of wins. Thank you. Open for question. Any question?
Yes, please, Mr. Bishan. Sorry, Bishan.
Yeah, that's fine. Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Bishan Bhalla. I'm calling from Vision Asset Management. Thank you, Santosh, for the presentation. Just a couple of questions. Firstly, we completely understand the impact of raw materials, the escalation in raw material prices and the impact it's had on your margins. Now, if I were just to ask you on a margin basis, what sort of revert do you see in Q3, Q4, and going forward in margins? Historically, you've been a business that does a net profit margin of 13-15%, and we've seen that dip this year, and we understand why. But do you see it going back to those levels, say Q4, Q1, 2023 onwards?
Look, future is always predictable. So, commodity prices, unfortunately, globally very high. But what we have seen, over the period, and I'll telling about from March till now while we're speaking, these prices are coming down. So at a point of time, aluminum price touched around $3,600. Now it is in a range of 35 to 36 and $2,900. So I've seen the significant drop. I hope this trend will continue, then there will be improvement. We are confident that there will be improvement.
Okay. My next question is in regards to the capex we've seen in this half. There's a capex of 6.2 million at the parent company level. Could you just shed some light on that?
Yeah, we are very pleased to announce that we have just started a very big warehousing facility in Al Ansab. That is a art of estate manufacture, the warehousing facility where we are putting our all centralized distribution for Muscat and the surrounding area. So that project has been capitalized there at that cost.
Okay, and sort of what kind of, so wait, currently where is your warehousing? Currently your warehousing takes place at the plant itself in Gubra, and that has been shifted to Ansab. Is that what we have to understand?
That's true.
Okay, so it's okay. And sort of what synergy or what sort of upside do you see from this warehousing facility going forward, or it's just a redistribution of logistics?
Yeah, look, a lot of things are confidential, so we may not be discussing everything. But I mean, if we are building a bigger warehouse, it itself, projects many things. So definitely we have a future plan.
Okay.
Right. But I don't want to discuss much in detail.
No, that's fine. I understand. I respect that. Next question is with regards to Atlas Bottling Corporation in Algeria. If you could just shed some light, because if I look at your financials, there is a loss. There's a standalone profit and a loss at a lower sort of net profit at consolidated levels. There's some loss from the subsidiaries. If you could just, or from your associates, if you could just shed some light on those operations, because we've seen the revenue jump in your statements, but if you could just shed some light on those operations. Thank you.
Yes, so I will split this question in two parts. One, the financial part I will answer, and then I'll request my CEO. He will give you detail about the operational part of that. So, we acquired this business last year, as we disclosed to CMA. Last year, September was our acquisition date. So January till August was not the number in the base. So whatever jump you are looking into revenue, it is just because the base was not correct. So next year, when this same period will come in the base, you will find the right base and the right reflection. Right. And we are compliant with IFRS, so we have to club it in a way which should be compliant. So we understand your concern, and that is the reason of that. While coming to the loss of the operation, I mean, it is a newly acquired business. So we see some gestation period to come to the break even and then going forward for financial profit. So at this point of time, part of financial, I can only disclose this much. I will request Mr. Yusuf, our CEO, if he has some insight on the operation side.
I think what I can add to, apart from the compliance that you mentioned, Santosh, we acquired this company and we took over early September last year. From that period until now, first we understood deeply the business, and then from the period of May up to now, we're seeing positive results. Okay, I cannot disclose the future how our performance will look like, but we are very positive to the outcome of the decisions that we have taken in the Algerian market.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Santosh, a follow-up question on that. I mean, I've gone through the disclosure you had made in August and last year, and if I'm to understand correctly, ABC, Atlas Bottling Company, is the manufacturer and distributor of PepsiCo products in Algeria and had been in operation for over 2 decades when you purchased it, correct?
Yeah.
So in a sense, it was a well-functioning operating company with a long history. So that's why the question on the financial performance of a company that has been around for 2 decades, because they're like yourselves, they've been doing the same in Algeria, and Oman Refreshment has been a company that has done very well over many years. So that's the reason for sort of just trying to understand at what cycle ABC is in. That was the rationale for the question.
Very good question. I really appreciate your question. So, just to give you a very brief about this company, as you said, is more than 2 decades company there. It's a huge market. I think it is the largest in terms of area in Africa, 3rd or 4th largest country in Africa. So we always see potential, or for that matter, any consumer company see potential there, right? The second point, we have almost close to 50 years experience running the Omani company, this Oman Refreshment here. And we see we are probably at that place where we are matured in terms of our learning curve. So we got this opportunity of a Omani company to invest overseas, and we have taken this opportunity. You know, that is one side. The second side of a story, you know, the business has been sold by the ex-owner or the whosoever was holding it, only because they find it difficult to run. It's a very simple. And then we plug into and we did our everything what we have to do, and we have a very defined, clear path where we are going to reach and what we are going to achieve.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
fine, sure. Yeah, wish you all the best.
Just to add one thing, I mean, the difference between the previous owner and ourselves, the previous owner is a diversified group having different businesses, while we at Oman Refreshment Company, we're very much focused on what we do. We've been doing the same thing for over 40 years. We have developed, deep understanding of the beverage business, and beyond that, the consumer packaged goods at large. And we enjoy a great relationship with our partners, being PepsiCo, and beyond PepsiCo, other partners. So our aim is to leverage, our understanding of the business and try to replicate, the success that we have been enjoying in Oman in the Algerian market. As I mentioned, the first results that we have witnessed are promising, and we're confident that over the next, period, numbers will improve in Algeria.
Thank you, so far. So
understood. Yeah, thank you, gentlemen, so much. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. So if anyone else would like to have any questions, we are happy to answer them.
If no further question, thank you all. Thank you for your attendance. Sulaiman, any last point before we close?
Nothing to add. If anyone would have any further queries and questions that they would like to ask, we will put our details, our contact details on the disclosure that we will be putting on Muscat Securities, and they can contact us through that, and we will be happy to answer any questions. And thanks for those who have attended today's meeting, and thanks for Mr. Yusuf and Santosh for answering the questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.